Well, hey, it's me in the green room, sitting here, my old ugly ass, as you can see. I can't remember my last video. I said I see in a few days, and it's been more than a few days, and honestly, the truth, ain't nothing really going on. I'm stocking more mason jars and getting them here piece by piece, waiting for next year. And my shed still looks like a bomb went off because I got shit piled up inside it because I can't take the bathtub out of the shed to stick it in the house until we demolish our bathroom right now. And a buddy of mine was like, he goes, hey, because if we can get jump started on it and we start tearing the bathroom apart and everything else. And I'm like, it's like winter time, and I don't want to have, a lot more gappage, I guess you would say, in the process of trying to redo a bathroom in the middle of winter time. And then, if I'm gonna gut a bathroom, I want to do it in a little bit milder time of the year versus, going into the dead of winter. And yeah, because it is, if we was to do it, say starting this weekend, like working on that bathroom in there, doing everything that buddy of mine's wanting to do, because he's like the plumber, construction guy. It would be probably the way time goes, like the middle to the end of January before it'll be like possibly halfway done. And yeah, I don't want to freeze my ass off in my bedroom with a lot of open spaces, allowing cold air to pour into, because we tore walls and part of the ceiling out and everything else. I'll wait till about springtime-ish, and then we'll start, getting, at least in springtime, it won't be so bad. It won't be as cold anyway either. But the problem with that is I got a bathtub in the shed, and I got shit piled up around the bathtub in the shed, and yeah, I was hoping to have that moved around, dispersed of all the other shit, and not happening either. So I guess it's like the old saying goes, spit in one hand, shit in the other, see which one fills up faster. So that's how my luck is anymore. But my feet hit the floor, so I can't complain. Yeah, pretty much it. Now I have been slightly stocking up on flour and more sugar and vinegar and things like that. And I know some of y'all probably think, what? About everyday kind of basic use things, but we go through probably 10 to 15 pounds of potatoes a week, probably 20 pounds of onions. I know for a fact, I got 2-gallon jugs of vinegar in the floor right now, and by next weekend those will be gone. Yeah, we go through a lot of vinegar. So, see, my thing is, I grew up, when I was growing up, we use apple cider vinegar for your cooking and all your sides, like making pickles. It's always apple cider vinegar, and white vinegar was used for cleaning, unless it was like the pickling vinegar. And then even with the white pickling vinegar, it was a half that and half apple cider mixed together. So it was still getting apple cider mixed with it, even though it was half pickling vinegar. But all white vinegar we ever used was mainly for cleaning the windows, wiping off the counters, cleaning wise. And my wife, she goes through just a regular white vinegar, making like salad dressing and stuff, and I'm just like, ugh. And she's like, what? Ain't nothing wrong with it, it's vinegar. And I'm like, yeah, it's not apple cider vinegar, there's a huge difference. Yeah, so we still argue about that every once in a while, but what happens when you're married, you get to argue over certain things. one thinks they're right, and of course I'm always right because I'm older, so I gotta be right. So I know some people are probably thinking, "Oh, what the hell?" But it doesn't matter who you ask. If you ask her, she's right. She won't say that she's right in front of me. But you get off to the side. Oh, I'm right. He's wrong. So it is what it is. Gotta love your black tea. And that's another thing too. We probably go through. We go through a ton of tea, a ton of tea, and we got probably 1,000 tea bags up here on the top shelf up here. And when I say 1,000 tea bags, I'm not exaggerating. We got every bit of 1,000 tea bags up here on top, because we go through a lot of tea. And we go through more tea in the summertime than we do in the wintertime. And we go through about 20 gallons of tea a week in the wintertime. So you can, and think about that. We go through 20 gallons of tea in the wintertime easy. And I would say in the summertime, we probably go through somewhere between 40 and 60 gallons a week in the summertime. And, it's no lie. And that's like, I got that big old 5-gallon igloo cooler thing, and I took a great big ass thing of sweet tea one time at the market, and I probably drank 3 gallons of it at the market while sitting there. And one of the people that was there, they were like, "How much have you drank?" I said, "Probably about 2 to 3 gallons." And they were like, "No." So we popped the thing up to check the measurement thing, and sure enough, it was about 3 gallons. And they're like, "Holy crap!" And I was like, "Yeah, we drink a lot of tea. Can't help it." And but they were like, "That's way too much." I'm like, "Well, no, because on average, you're supposed to drink about a gallon a day. So I'm good for technically 3 days." But it's in 1 day sitting, so it is what it is. It just means I'm peeing like a Russian racehorse on a flat rock when I go. Now, one person that I haven't seen in a long time, I saw him this afternoon, and she wants me to get some glasses like this and make a bunch of candles in these type of glasses. And she basically, like she said, she just wants it to have like that country kind of homey kind of look, but she's wanting lemon candles. And I'm like, and of course I asked her, I said, "Do you want me to put the yellow coloring wax dye in the wax form to give it that nice like lemon kind of color to it too?" And she's like, "Well, hell yeah!" So I think here soon I'm gonna go up. We got a place down the road from me called the Dollar Tree. Everything there used to be $1. Now it's $1.25. But they got glasses like this there, and I'm gonna go in there and see about getting probably about 4 or 5 glasses and making her some lemon candles in these Mason style jars with handles on them. I'm empty. Time for a refill. Got my last little drop. But nothing really new going on, really. Most of my Christmas shopping's done with. I gotta get my mom something. I gotta get my dad something. And other than that, probably pick up a few more little odd and end things for the kids. Things that they need, not so much as what they want. Because in my opinion, needs trump wants. I want a lot of things, but doesn't mean I have to have them. I need a few things, But with me, I always go without for as long as I can to make sure everybody else in the house gets what they need. Not so much want, but need. And the wife gets aggravated, but can't help it. It's how I was raised. You take care of certain people first, and then once they're taken care of, you can take care of yourself. Um, I know people that are just the opposite. They worry about themselves and just kind of like piss on everybody else. And um, I just wasn't raised that way. I can't help it. Now, both my grandparents grew up during the Depression. My grandmother died in the early part of 2000. Well, yeah, early part, about 2002, 2003 is when she died. And then my grandfather died in 2005 or two. No, he died in, was it 2005 or 2006? But somewhere, it doesn't really matter. Dead's dead. But they, my grandpa didn't talk much about when he was growing up. He did some, but not. He wasn't a conversation kind of person. The only thing I knew really about my grandfather growing up. Now there's a few little side tales that he told about like his grandpap and stuff like that. But mainly, it was kind of limited. And the main thing I know for a fact about my grandfather is he hated fried chicken. 'Cause almost every day during the Depression they ate fried chicken, and he was sick of fried chicken. And there was one time, I know it was like a Saturday afternoon, I went to KFC and picked up a big old box of fried chicken and stuff and took it to their house, and I just figured, what the hell, surprise them with a free dinner. And my grandfather ate mashed potatoes and coleslaw and biscuits, and slightly nibbled on a piece of chicken, but that he wasted more of it than he actually ate it. And of course, I asked my grandmother, what he didn't like KFC or something, and she said no, he just hates fried chicken. She goes, why do you think I never fixed it? Because he wouldn't eat it. And I was like, why? And that's when she explained to me that basically that, they ate fried chicken almost every day when he was growing up. Now, with my grandmother, they ate possum, they ate raccoon, they ate groundhog, squirrel, rabbit, whatever they could shoot, they basically ate. Like she said, we had a smorgasbord of all kinds of things, but it's a lot of things that people in this day and age would just be like, ooh, I'm not eating that. She said, but hey, when you're hungry, you'll eat it. She's true, she's right. Because I know for a fact, when I was growing up, when I lived in the more of the city area, actually it was downtown Louisville when I was real little, and I lived 2 blocks from what used to be Standard and Field, which is now named after the draft dodger, which is the Muhammad Ali Airport. But when it was Standard and Field, I was about 2 city blocks from it, and every day at 11 o'clock on the dot, there was a DC-10 that would fly over every day. And whether it be 11 o'clock in the morning, 11 o'clock at night, DC-10 right across the house. Shook the whole thing like you wouldn't believe. But when I was a real little kid living in Louisville, we had green beans, peas, and meatloaf just about every day. Now, when I was a little older, I refused to eat green beans. When I say a little older, I was like in my late teens, early 20s, up until I was about in my mid 30s, I started eating green beans again. But yeah, and I'm surprised I still eat meatloaf, truthfully. We had meatloaf just about every damn day. And then my grandmother got this great idea. She was going to can a bunch of squash and stuff. And of course, we had squash along with dinner. And yeah, to this day, um, yeah, I won't touch squash. I won't. I will not eat squash. I won't even grow it. You know. And I know if I grew squash and took it to market, people would buy the shit out of it. But I don't even want to grow it, because that means if I grow it, I have to look at it. And I remember every day sitting there for months during the fall and the winter, sitting at the table 2 or 3 hours after dinner, still sitting at the table with a plate of squash. And my mom's rule was, and I'm not leaving the table until I eat my squash. And there's sometimes I fell asleep in the chair and hit the floor, had to get back up and sit in the chair until I finished my squash. And yeah, that's what you call parenting. That's what you call discipline. That's what you call structure, which does not exist in this day and age. I mean, yeah, I'm not going to say it completely doesn't exist, but for the most part, yeah, you know, nobody would do that to their kids nowadays, because that's considered abuse. Whatever. But I mean, yeah. I can't remember how I got off track on that. But anyway, it is what it is. But I can't wait till springtime. Oh my God, I was looking at the calendar. My kids have their school calendars, and that's like all the months and everything. And I was counting everything up, and it's like 15 to 16 weeks until springtime. And I'm like, come on, man, come on. Because I hate winter. Oh my God, I hate winter. Oh, look, a big old thing of lightning. There's still lightning outside. Yay! Guess it's going to rain all night long. At least if it rains and hits the roof, it'll... Did you hear that? If you didn't, big old thing of thunder. Still going. Still rumbling. Still rumbling. Well, that's a big one. Still going. Still going. Now it's starting to fade out. Man, that's a long thunder. That's better than a summertime storm there. But, you know, at least we're getting the rain that we needed 6 months ago. That's all I can say. I just hope next year the grow season goes a lot nicer than it was this past year, because this past year a lot of shit dried up. I had a lot of vegetable plants that were doing really good, and then like 12 hours later, just dead as a doornail. I was so pissed, because I had so much stuff out, and I was hoping for a great big ass yield, and I got like a quarter of everything that I put out. And then on top of it, a lot of the seeds that I had started and grown and everything else, I guess they were just bad seed, because the plants grew, but you know, the plant grew, but nothing else did. And I was like, well, shit. So yeah, you know, it is what it is. You can't control everything. You can think you can control it, but it's not going to happen. I just know this year I got big plans for a garden, and big plans for more plants, and you know, I got so much stuff in my head. If I could show you what's inside my head, plan wise, you'd be amazed. But then again, there's some stuff in my head that you'd be scared to death, and like, oh my God, you know, because you know, I got some crazy ass thoughts in my head sometimes. Yeah, some of y'all might get kind of scared, but you know, as long as you keep it up here and it don't go any farther than that, then you know, hey, what are you gonna do? But it is what it is. Oh man, ain't nothing going on. I'm bored. I'm stuck in the house. Of course it's raining. Of course it is winter time, and you know, I hate being stuck in the house. This is what I hate this time of year for. Because I can't go outside. Well, I can go outside if you want to freeze your ass off sometimes. Some days it's not too bad, but most part, you know, it's cold, gloomy, dreary. Everything's dead basically. There's no foliage, you know. You can't go rummaging through the woods looking for plants and the things of that nature. All you do is you sit in the house, you watch TV, and there's only so much TV you can watch before you go crazy on that. There's only so many things you can watch online before you get tired of doing that. I'm not a napping person whatsoever, unless I'm sick. And if I'm sick, I'll sleep all day long. But other than that, you know, I don't nap. And people are like, won't you take a nap? Can't. Because if I take a nap during the daytime, say for a 2-hour nap, I gotta drink about a quarter of a bottle of NyQuil and pop four Benadryl pills to knock my ass out to sleep 4 hours to wake up between 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning and then be like, well, here we are. And that's how it is. I mean, I can take Ambien, the strongest Ambien in the world. It will knock my ass to the floor like you would not believe. And within 4 hours, I don't care. It can still be in my system kicking on, but in 4 hours, my eyes will, I'm wide ass awake, and I'm just like, isn't this fun? Now I'm wide ass awake, everybody else in the house is asleep, and I'm by myself being bored going, what can I do now? So a lot of times I just lay in bed, stare at the ceiling going, roll, roll, roll your boat gently down the stream, because I'm just wide ass awake and there's nothing to do. And if I try to slide the hands to the person next to me in bed, they get mad because they're trying to sleep and I'm waking them up. So yeah, it's really fun. Sneeze coming on. I felt better. I don't know where that came from, but it came from someplace. There's a good yawn. This video actually has no importance, but I'm going to post it. I'm going to, share it, and, I'm sorry that you wasted the time watching this video because technically there isn't anything important about it. But, people all the time say, you need to put videos up there like every day. No, I don't, because this is how most of my videos would be every day. Because, unless there's something I just got to get off my head or, I got to share with somebody, this is what my videos would be like. And I don't want to waste anybody's time watching a video that pertains to nothing. So, that's why I don't do it every day. That's why I take gaps, like day gaps. Or days gaps, because I don't want to waste anybody's time. I mean, granted, this time of year, most of the time you're stuck in the house anyway, but still, I mean, if there's something that you can get more educational use out of other than a fat redneck hillbilly sitting in a rocking chair in a green room with mason jars behind him, I mean, I shouldn't be taking up your time, I should be letting you go through and get more, ideas and, things stuck in your noggin for, I hate to use the word survival use, but, eventually that's what it's going to boil down to. Especially when things keep going the way they're going. But, yeah, I guess I'm going to shut up and turn off this video, go download it, put it on YouTube, and bore the piss out of everybody that watched this video. So, I would say that, hopefully my next video or next couple of videos will be more important than what this is, but, Junior's in the bathroom puking his guts out, so whatever he ate, didn't agree with him. So, I'm going to turn it off before it gets too more intense, and, you don't want to hear, my name is Ralph, man. So, See? I'll see y'all later.